that we can talk about?
No, man. I just got my shit together. I got a shower on. I got my clean clothes on. I shaved a little bit.
What's up, YouTube? Irish USMC Vet and Poison Stinger. And Riddle Girl's over there somewhere hanging out today.
Lurking.
What's up with everybody? What is going on in your neck of the woods today? We'll wait for this bitch to get warmed up and everybody show up. And we'll talk about politically incorrect stuff and no farming.
No like the farming. Caucasian barrel. Huh?
Yeah. The link is in the comment section if you wish to purchase your Caucasian barrel morale patch from tacticalshit.com. They also have hundreds of other politically incorrect patches.
I need to let you know I have 2.
And Roto Girl is passing down some intel that she doesn't want everyone to know. So, yeah. Hopefully I gave enough time for everybody to get the notification today so that people can show up.
Oh, today is starting off to be a great day.
Is that a sarcastic great day or?
No, man. Totally, the more unpredictable a day is, the greater it is, isn't it? It just keeps it entertaining.
Sometimes. Yep, sometimes. Sometimes eBay is entertaining if you have to deal with retards on there. Not all eBayers are retards, but there's quite.
Hey, man, I might actually start showing some of the things we still got for sale. Anybody want to buy this? This is our store.
eBay, pimp it out there.
Right.
Oh, shit. Let's see what we can find. American pride is at a record low. Social unrest about to get much worse. Congress fears. Pentagon is handing out more militarization stuff to the police, so be ready for that. So we can get butt raped some more. I'll provide the link for that one. Pentagon surplus handouts stoke militarization of the U.S. police.
Yeah. What's better than having militarized police? More militarized police.
Well, they're having to now because the cops are quitting in record numbers.
Oh, yeah. Let's talk about that. That's not a horrible thing, but it's understandable, right? The funny thing is now that they're being demonized and they're actually being targeted for violence. Now they're worried they're actually going to take their life into their hand, or into the life will be on the line anytime they go out. Before, you pull somebody over for speeding, you get 5 more squad cars and you all gang up on the guy and you don't worry about it at all. You pretend you worry about it. You tell the public that you worry about it, that every day I go out onto the street, I risk my life. Bullshit. You got 5 other cops pulling over a granny in a fucking Escalade, right? Now that shit got real, now we're seeing the true mark of who wants to actually stay there and make a difference. Ticketing people for running through a light and actually taking their life in their, in the hands every day. And a lot of them don't want to do that. They want to be, they want to be in control the entire time. And when they don't have that control, or when they think there's actual danger, they're out. Not to mention they're being demonized, right? Nobody likes them right now. Shit, they're even talking about taking Paw Patrol off of, I don't even know, is it PBS? Some sort of kids cartoon that has like a police dog, a fireman dog, I don't know, all these different dogs, right, called Paw Patrol, and they're going to take out the cop dog. You got, oh man, it's crazy. It's a crazy world we're living in, bro.
Yes, it is. Ultimately, that's just going to lead to you having to get more guns and more freedom, because then you'll have to protect yourself instead of that fake hope that the cops will protect you. The police department, anyways.
Cops don't protect shit. They come there and write a report after the fact. I had somebody comment on my video recently, like, well, yeah, the cops are more there for, you know, the idea of that they'll be there in time. Wait, what? So that the criminals won't want to be criminals because maybe a cop might be there in time. That's
Yeah.
that's the thing that a criminal. That's the reason why cops should exist.
Just like just-in-time shipping. How's that working out for everybody during the cerveza bug scare? Scientists are now saying that there's up to 36 intelligent alien races out there. What do you think about that? What do you think about
I
that?
think some of them might be Caucasian, some of them might be Hispanic, some of them might be African American.
Could be. Underwater Wi-Fi system. There's
We have the
supposedly
Vatican,
first ever
apparently.
underwater.
Go ahead. Apparently, the Vatican is now acknowledging that there's other beings and other races, but it's the Vatican. I mean, whatever sells money, they also now are okay with homosexuality. So whatever's going around is fine with us at the time. Later on, we won't like it. You know, Second Amendment, I'm sure they hate that, right?
Yeah. Europe has opened up its borders, but they're not allowing Americans or Asians in. Interesting.
Really? Oh no, whatever shall I do? I can't go to Europe.
Elon Musk to create a bionic man within a year with implanted chips. Great.
Is that a robot, or is he going to just implant people with chips? I don't get that.
Implant
because if
with
it's
chips.
a bionic man, then that means like part like legs or I don't know. I mean, if somebody wants to sign up for it and all that, that's great. Don't force me to do it, right? So, my body, my choice.
Poland accidentally invaded the Czech Republic in a misunderstanding. Wow.
Oops, my bad.
I don't even know.
I could have sworn that Chaz would have been taken out last night, but I guess not. Or at least I haven't seen anything on it.
Well, you can't send in the military. It's like
No.
It's not.
Well, if they declared a terrorist organization, which I mean he's been saying he's going to do, then you could say that that's a terrorist act, and then that doesn't violate the 10th Amendment. So
yeah,
I mean there's ways of doing it. Police face attrition. Minneapolis Police Department losing 14 cops as leaders call for abolition. I can't talk today. Abolish.
"24-hour fitness files for bankruptcy amid onslaught of gym closures."
Mm-hmm.
Parts of Beijing are locked down as virus outbreak gathers fresh pace. Iran is warning we may have to reimpose tough controls. Wow, imagine that. They take the power and scare you with the cerveza bug, and then they don't want to give it back. There's 40,000 cruise ship workers still trapped at sea due to cerveza bug. They won't allow them, I guess, to come back in. America convicted of spying in Russia gets 16 years.
Okay.
But the mandatory minimums for having a kilo of cocaine is 20. Go figure. Which it is actually less of a prison sentence if you're a child molester, a rapist, arsonist, than it is to have a kilo of cocaine or a pound of marijuana.
This is all nuts.
Supreme Court rules that workers can't be fired for being gay or trans. Okay, so why would they have to fucking have a Supreme Court rule on that? That's kind of like a no-brainer.
Right.
I mean,
gay,
your sexual orientation. Your sexual orientation doesn't matter.
Well, it depends on what's going on, right? Are you just gay and trans and that's it? Or are you out there flaunting it on a daily basis, making everybody recognize your sexual orientation every time you talk to them? Right? Because I don't come up to you like, hey, how you doing, Irish? I love the pussy. How about you? You know?
Can I get an amen?
Right? I don't need that shit at work.
Well, I mean, yeah, but that's a respect thing. Like I talked about that before. Like if you're not into what I'm into, then you say something and then that's it. I mean, I can't help it if you want to come dressed flamboyantly homosexual. I don't give a shit about that.
That's
However,
true.
you're not supposed to talk about that stuff at work anyways.
Don't ask, don't tell.
Yeah. Well, it's not even that. You're not even supposed to talk about it at work because it's considered sexual harassment. Right. You can't talk about getting blowjobs or sex acts at work because it's considered in your HR to be, a gray area.
What about the fake list? What about the fake list? I mean, that shit's. Oh, I cannot stand that shit.
I mean, but it's not illegal.
It's not.
We shouldn't need a Supreme Court ruling to say that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I get it.
I mean, if you want to be that way, be that way. That's what. In God's eyes, maybe not, but.
Well, yeah, that's the whole thing, right?
Cares.
Because I don't know why we have to get all hung up on this, right? Yes, my religion says that's not good. That's a sin, right? Because you have a choice where you put it, right? Don't tell me you're born that way, that you're naturally attracted. It's a perversion in my mind, right? It's perversion. But at the same time, if you're into freaky shit, be into freaky shit. But don't tell me that you have to do that because bullshit. I can put mine wherever I want. If I want to put it in that area, I guess I could, but I don't. Right? Now, if you do, it doesn't mean you have to. Right? Just because I'm sexually attracted to animals doesn't mean I have to put it in a donkey. Right? It's the whole reason that they're trying to get now pedophiles to be okay with everybody because, well, they were born attracted to kids. It's the same argument. It's just a different venue that they're putting it on, right? Yeah. And I call bullshit on all that. Now, at the same time, even though I don't think it's great for, religious reasons or whatever, or I disagree with it, I don't think you should do it. Yeah. But at the same time, I'm an American, freedom, right? As long as you and the other person are of legal age and are consenting, by all means, you do you. I do not care. I don't want you to know what I'm doing in my bedroom, and I don't want to know what you're doing in yours, right? So whatever you want to do, go for it.
And Kitty expressed her opinion that she only likes males.
Yeah, she also doesn't like it when the wife goes outside. She's got abandonment issues.
Because her human is important to her.
Scared? Eastwind thinks my cat looks scared.
Oh, man, oh, man, oh, man, oh, man.
Or are you referencing the bestiality comments that I was making?
No, no bestiality. No. Morning Eastwind Farm. Stinger's cat looking a little scared now. I don't think she's scared of anything. She looks like she's 22 pounds of killing machine back there.
She is pretty thick.
Miami-Dade is dueling rallies in support of BLM and President Trump. So they're having both rallies for both. Mm-hmm. Great. Hopefully they're peaceful. She is very boisterous today. Let's see what is going on. So they did not stop the Chaz as they were talking about. Patriot groups plan to retake Seattle on July 4th. So that's
yeah. I heard that the Hell's Angels are on the way to save the day. They'll be there by the 4th of July. 4th of July, what kind of route are you taking? Have you looked at the calendar recently? That's 3 weeks away. Well, 2.5, right? That's a
Yeah.
long time. You know how far I can get in 2.5 weeks? Bullshit. That's all that is right there is blustering. They know for a fact this shit's going to be done by then, and they don't want to do shit. Where is the militia? Where is the 3%ers, man? They're all waiting on something else. They're too busy washing each other's ass or something because they ain't worried about this at all. 4th of July. 4th of July?
Well, I mean, it does take time to organize a large group. So, but I mean,
Sure.
what, 20 days away, roughly? I don't know. Because one, you're gonna have to send in infiltrators, you know, to get the layout. I guess they are armed now. I don't know for sure. But
Yeah, the
definitely.
people in Chaz, yeah, they're armed as all hell. I mean, a lot of them probably got armed through the police station.
Yeah, through the
police stations, but I doubt they took every gun out.
Yeah, I mean, what other place would you go besides a National Guard armory or Army armory or something where you'd find any more free guns? The police headquarters of the East Precinct. Not only the guns that they were given by the federal government to militarize them, but then also all the guns that they've taken off the streets. So you can only imagine the wealth of cocaine, marijuana, all the other illicit drugs that they had stored. No wonder they took over the police. Maybe these people are smarter than we think.
Hell of a party.
And free guns.
I was watching the feed last night a little bit, and they were having a big old party last night. So.
Apparently, Beijing, China, is now exploiting the George Floyd riots. Wow, our foreign adversaries are going to take advantage of the crisis and sow discord and try to damage our reputation. So they're also putting out...
Because China's not racist at all.
Well, they're putting out that we're weak and that the president can't control, his own people. Collapse of Democrat-run cities now imminent as truckers say they will refuse. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, that's all right. They were. I was just saying that they've separated us into groups very well by design. Worried about our own little cliques instead of the collective of America, and by doing that, yeah, we are a lot weaker. Because divided we will fall, and we are very divided.
Mm-hmm. What are we doing out there today, East Wind? You got anything going on today that's of importance, or just taking care of the garden and doing general stuff?
Truckers aren't going to go into the cities with the defunded police, huh?
Yeah. Well, yeah, they get jacked all the time.
A few truckers might not, like the owner-operators won't. But if you work for an actual trucking company, you will, or you will get fired. So I don't think that it's really going to have that much of an effect. It's more bluster, more just talk. It's all fucking talk, bro. This is why I kind of wish I was a communist or an Antifa or a socialist or whatever you want to call it, because they're actually fucking doing something in Chaz, right? They did something. What have our side done other than just talk? Oh yeah, we'll be there on the 4th of July. Okay. Oh, Hillary's going to be locked up 4 years later. Okay. Stop fucking talking and actually do something, for crying out loud. My goodness.
Well, that's because real people have real lives and real jobs and real things to take care of, and those who don't are the ones that are occupying.
Yeah, I guess so.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, but that makes them just talk because they have no intention of doing it in the first place. They just and then they'll just use the excuse. Well, I got a real job, not like these millennials who are living in their mama's basement. Well, you know, if that makes you feel better at night when you go to bed with that excuse for not doing shit, I guess that makes you feel better. But there comes a time, you know how many the revolutionary founding fathers didn't sit around like, well, you know, I got a wife and kid to feed. No, they went out and they fucking did something, man. When we lost that as a country.
Well, I mean, in reference to that, like from my experience, it's hard enough for me to leave to go on a 2-day vacation because of the animals and the stuff that I have to take care of. You know what I'm saying? So I can understand why people that have things that they have to maintain and take care of, you know, because you just can't walk away. I just can't walk away from here. I have to set things in motion, verify that I can get people here to take care of the animals and to take care of the gardening stuff. And you know what I mean?
I understand where you're coming from, but at the same time, that shit was still going on during the Revolutionary War. There was plenty of people with lots of animals and farmland and all that, and they either stayed with it or they left it behind and let it rot. You know, they decided that this was worth fighting for, and they gave up everything they had. They became enemies of the state that would have been murdered and hung if they had gotten caught, and they stood up for it. We're not at that point right now. And I don't know what it's going to take to get to that point, but at some point, there will come a time when you're at that point. Where that point is, I don't know. You probably don't even know. No. But there's gonna come a point to where you're gonna have to. Well, I don't know if they'll actually come in our lifetime, but personally, I'm just. I get the excuses, but at the same time, if people make excuses, don't talk. You know, I'm going to do that. No, you're not. No, don't say you are, because you're not. You know, because at that point you're just making us all look bad. You know what I mean? Not you personally. Obviously, I'm talking about. Yeah. You know, Hell's Angels going to be there on the 4th of July. Just don't. Just say you're going to be there on the 4th of July and you're going to have a little parade. Hopefully, it's all cleared off because you don't want to start shit. Because obviously you're scared as fuck and you don't want to deal with them because they actually have weapons now. When they don't have weapons and you do, then you know what? I think they have a cop complex. Because when they think that they have all the power, they're all, oh yeah, we're gonna do this, and this, and then they have guns. Oh yeah, we'll be there on the 4th of July.
Well, I mean that's like anything. Like in any if you know anything about war, we'll call ahead and say, hey, we're gonna bomb the shit out of these locations. You might want to move all the civilians out of there. But what they're really doing is they're moving all their assets out of there because we gave them advance notice. And that's kind of like what's going on here. They're saying, hey, motherfuckers, we're going to come fuck your shit up. And you might want to be ready for that. So they're giving them the opportunity to get out of there so that there's less of a conflict. You see it all the time. Like, hey, we're going to bomb the fuck out of this base. I mean, they do that. I
disagree with that. I know they do, and I disagree with that so much. I can't even start to say how much I disagree with that. Hey, by the way, I'm going to come and whoop your ass in a week and a half. All right, you be ready. Hey, by the way, I'm going to come and I'm going to break into your house 3 nights from now. Okay, I just want about 3 in the morning. I'm going to be there. And I'm going to be robbing all your shit. Okay.
So first coin out of the bunch today that I picked up is a 1964 nickel. Ooh. How awesome is that?
I found a 1946 nickel in my change, which sucks because the only ones that actually have any silver are like the 1943s, I believe.
No, 64.
Nah.
64 is pre-64 is 90% silver.
Yeah, you'd hope, but not for nickels. It ain't.
I thought it was all pre.
Nope. In fact, today when I go meet my my silver guy, I'm gonna bitch at him because he sold me a couple buffalo nickels, and I'd never had buffalo nickels, and I was pretty sure there wasn't any silver in them. But he's like, "Oh no, there's silver." So he added it to my silver price. But I come home and I look because I didn't really do a lot of research, and no, even the buffalo nickels are 75% copper, 25% nickel, and the only nickel in U.S. constitutional silver to ever have silver in it were the war nickels of 1943. And then it was only like 30 or 40%. It wasn't even that much then. Everything, the dimes, the half dollars, and the quarters, yes, those are all 90% silver pre-64. And the half dollars are 40% silver pre-1970, I believe. So yeah, 64 to 70.
I'm mainly trying to fill up my Jefferson nickel collection from.
Well, there you go. Yeah,
61. So
that's cool. Yeah,
my little book that I showed you the other night. So
yeah, I gotta get some of those for sure.
I mainly just do it when I go through my card change. Just to.
I love.
Go ahead.
No, we got a little bit of a delay, but I do like coin collecting, that part of it. Like I had the penny book that you showed a day or so ago. I had that one, and I loved doing that as a kid. I'd love to get that again. But here's my buffalo nickel with the Indian on the top. And now, if you get a buffalo nickel, if he's only got 3 legs, then he's worth a lot of money. So, right, it'd be in the front of the buffalo. You can see the front 2 legs there. This one obviously doesn't have just 1 leg, but one of the legs didn't get stamped correctly. Those are worth a shit ton of money if you ever find one, but good luck.
Good luck. Hey, you never know. I mean, people throw like I found mercury dimes in my change that I got back. So
I have never done that, bro. I have looked. I've never seen a mercury dime that I didn't buy, and I only bought some recently, right? So I'd never seen a mercury dime other than in a showcase, right? I didn't hold one or own one. And the same thing with, well, maybe I might have had a pre-64 Roosevelt or pre-65 Roosevelt, but I don't remember ever having it, or I sure as hell didn't find one. I don't know. I've never been that lucky, I guess.
I mean, there's a lot of coin errors out there. So I mean,
in God we rust.
Yeah, I mean, some of them are not really super expensive, but I mean, it's just cool to have in your collection if you collect coins.
Yeah. Well, I agree with that.
Just like copper pennies, if they ever do away with the penny and you have them, they're valued at about 3 cents of copper. So, I mean, unless you have $1 million worth of pennies, it's worthy to save them, Well,
I do separate my copper pennies from my non-coppers, and if I had wheat heads, I'd do that too. I definitely wouldn't melt down any wheat heads, but I mean, if I had enough regular copper pennies, I might melt them down and sell the copper bars.
Now, I've heard that some of the 83s are also copper, but you have to weigh them.
I thought it was the 84s, but yeah, you might be right.
Oh, I thought pennies was 82 and below.
It could be. I know that there is one year where it was half and half of, but I just don't remember which year. But yeah, you're right on that. It's either 82 or 84. I'm not sure which. Haven't really looked into it too much. I mean, you're talking about, more than double your money, I guess, but you got to get a lot of it.
I mean, I just I throw them in there just because.
Right.
Just because, it's just cool. And then a lot of the, if you find error coins, the quarters, they're worth $25 a piece. So, I mean, wow. It's worth looking at your change before you.
Yeah, for sure.
I do not know all the errors, but there's some pretty decent errors. Nine. Hold on a second.
Yep. You might be getting a delivery. You guys find anything good in your change ever? I don't think I ever have. I mean, I found some wheat pennies. That's about it. Let's see. Let's read a little bit. Where's the Liberty? There we go. Minneapolis Police Department to lose 14 cops as leaders call for disbanding. You can't really reform a department that is rotten to the root. At least 7 Minneapolis police officers quit, and another 7 are in the process of resigning, citing the lack of support from the department and city leaders as protest over Mr. Floyd's death escalates. Current and former officers told the Minneapolis Star-Tribune that officers are upset with the mayor's decision to abandon the 3rd Precinct station during the protest. Demonstrators set the building on fire, and officers left. Protesters also hurled bricks and insults at officers. Oh, insults? You mean they hurt your widow feelings with the insults? Numerous officers and protesters have been injured. Yeah. This is what happens when you keep putting your knee down on American citizens' necks, no matter what color they are. Obviously, this one was black, and everybody thinks that, there's a big racial problem in America. Whereas I see this as not a black or white thing. This is us versus them thing. And they think they are our masters, and we should respect their authority, and I disagree. The Minnesota Department of Human Rights launched a civil rights investigation into the city's police department this month, and FBI is investigating whether police willfully deprived Floyd of his civil rights. The department has faced decades of allegations of brutality and other discrimination against African Americans and other minorities. A major of city council members support dismantling or defunding the department. Officers don't feel appreciated, said Mylan Masson, a retired Minneapolis officer and use of force expert. Everybody hates the police right now. I mean, everybody. Oh, you're not appreciated anymore. Deputy Chief Henry Halverson said in an email to supervisors earlier this month that some officers have simply walked off the job without filing the proper paperwork, creating confusion about who is still working and who isn't. Good for them. Minneapolis police spokesman John Elder downplayed the departures. There's nothing that leads us to believe that at this point the numbers are so great that it's going to be a problem, Elder said. People seek to leave employment for a myriad of reasons. The MPD is no exception. U.S. Republican Ilhan Omar, a Minnesota Democrat who represents part of Minneapolis, told CNN State of the Union on Sunday that Minneapolis Police Department is suffering a crisis of credibility and needs to be dismantled. Yeah, well, it's Ilhan Omar. You can't really reform a department that is rotten to the root, she said. And you also can marry your brother if, you want to get him to be an American citizen. What you can do is rebuild. And so this is our opportunity, as a city to come together and have the conversation on what public safety look like. Yeah, whatever. We have some comments. Truckers won't haul loads there anymore because there is no police. They will remember what happened to Ronald Denny in 92. Oh, that's that trucker that went to LA, right, during the riots. And they aren't taking risks. So no food or anything else going into that city. Let's just see how hungry they get. I totally forgot about that with the LA riots. That might be why the truckers are like, yeah, we're not going to go in there if there's no cops. If that's the case, it might actually have some meaning behind it.
Yeah, I mean, nobody wants to go in and get robbed. Then they're going to be held responsible for it, or their insurance.
Right.
Or beat to death because they're bringing in shit. Nobody wants that. I mean, I can't fault them.
Well, it depends on if they remember it or if they were alive during that point. I mean, that was a while ago, so we do have a lot of new truckers. It's not like it happened 2 years ago and everybody's still fresh from the last time. This is quite a long time ago.
Yeah, but I mean, still though, nobody wants to. I mean, if you're delivering something, nobody wants to go in and get the shit beat out of them just because they're bringing some. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I get it why they don't want to go. well, let me bring you guys some stuff to make sure you're all right, all while you're beating the fuck out of me
Mm-hmm.
and stealing my shit and the things that I've worked so hard for all my life, my rig and you know, whatever. It's all good. What a wonderful world we live in today.
We need term limits. I think that's the first step.
Yeah, there should never be a career politician like that. That should never be a thing.
I think a lot of people can come together on that too. A lot of Republicans and Democrats, liberals and conservatives can come together on that. Nobody wants to see career politicians, but they will never put that up for address because they want to stay in power. So how do you get them to make that happen?
I mean, I guess the only way you can and to redress your grievances is to start a petition at the fucking whitehouse.gov and see if it goes anywhere. And if not, then everybody needs to push back on it.
Well, even then, right? A petition does what? Just tells them that this is what you want. And even if you get a billion, even if you got 90% of Americans to sign up for it, it ain't gonna do nothing because they're not gonna vote on it because they don't want to.
And then that's whenever you elect people that do want the reform.
That's hard because most of the people that go in there, even the ones that say they're against it, they'll vote against it for a while, but then at the end, well, we tried that, it didn't work out. I'm gonna run for the 15th time.
The 15th. I know, right?
It becomes, they run on it, they get elected for it, they kind of half-ass try it, right? There's only like one or two a year that go in with gung-ho about it, and they either didn't mean it in the first place, or they get there and they can't do anything, so they're like, well, whatever, I'll just be part of the system then. And, it's not like they're like, well, don't vote for me now because I wasn't able to do that. Have you ever heard a politician say that? No,
not at all.
So there's no way, man. There's absolutely no way to get enough politicians in there that would all agree to do that all at the same time that would actually do it. Because most of the ones that say they'd do it, if they actually thought it would happen, would not vote for it.
Right. Because that would mean they're out of there.
Yeah, so they're just doing it for show. It's all bluster and talk. I hate it. That might be my chat's title tonight. I am so fucking tired of people yapping their gums and not meaning what they say. It's not that hard to mean what you say and do what you say.
Well, standing behind it is something totally different.
Why are you flapping your gum? It's all virtue signaling, I guess, because there's nothing happening from it.
I mean, 90%. Hell, I'll even go a little easy on them. 50% of them wouldn't have they wouldn't have a life after that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because they're career politicians.
Mm-hmm. So
I mean, what the fuck would they do? Nothing. I mean, there's nothing they could do because half of them are so far out of touch with reality.
Can
they
you
don't
see Maxine Waters getting a job at the local Circle K?
Yeah, or a Walmart door greeter. Come on.
Yep, that's about it.
I mean, nobody's going to hire you, especially after you have a shitty ass opinion against your own people. I
love this. We got to get this done. I need to see congressmen in Walmart greeting me as I come in. I need that in my life.
And that would be, that would be an acceptable thing. I mean, it wouldn't be. I don't even think it'd be looked down upon. Right. Because you came back to your community and started. You go to Congress, and you go to all these positions to help your community, right? And then after you've done what you think you needed to do, you come back and become a productive member of society, not somebody that doesn't know what a fucking Qdoba is or a McDonald's because you've been eating $80,000, or $1,000 plate meals at fancy ass shit.
Right.
On the government's, on the back of the taxpayer. But yeah, you won't ever see that because why? Oh, I want that $1,000 filet mignon from fucking the best restaurant in the world. Why the fuck would I eat Qdoba or any restaurant for that matter. Qdoba was the first one that came to mind, but
Right.
career politician.
I think that's where it starts. You got to get them term limits. If you did that, that would go a long way to fixing what we got going on right now. A long way.
I mean, you'd have fresh people in there. I don't know, is it 2-year term limit for a senator or congressman? Or is it 4?
2 or 4. I think it might be 4.
So,
I mean, go ahead and have them be 8 years, man. I mean, that's the president, right? No congressman or anybody in elected office should be there more than 8 years. Oop. Irish might be having issues with his internet. Hopefully he'll be back. If not, then we'll just run this into the ground as much as possible. How y'all doing? There's Riddle Girl right there in the window. Here she comes. We're thinking about setting up another camera for the hydroponics so that we can switch from this camera to the hydroponic camera so people can see. Some of the bok choy is growing pretty well. Hey, Riddle.
Hey.
What did you do? You went somewhere?
I went to the post office. We got to talk about that. And I am late for something. I got a call from my boss. So.
All right.
sorry I got booted. I don't know what
No,
happened.
you're fine.
Lovely internet in rural
Yeah.
America, or we got disconnected because of our controversial topics.
Fuck the police coming straight from underground. I watched the Chappelle show. Well, not the show, but his latest thing. I think it was called 846 or something like that. It's like a number. I thought it was supposed to be a comedy special. It wasn't really that funny. I mean, he was talking mostly about all the protests going on and why it's fine and he's okay with it, which is fine. You know, I'm all for the protests that are going against the cops. But, you know, there's also that racial thing where he thinks it's only because they're black. Well, cops, they pick on people and kill people all sorts of colors.
Indiscriminately.
Right.
Yeah.
Can we just make this a general thing and not divide each other even more? You know?
Yeah.
That's my only critique to Chappelle. Can we at least come together and say, as a country, this is not okay if it's done to black people, white people, or any kind of people. And that we should all stand up against this instead of saying, well, this is why the Negroes are out there, you know, rioting in the street. There's also a difference between rioting and burning shit and looting shit versus going after the cops. You know, he also mentioned that there were a lot of cops that are getting taken out, including Richard Doyle, I think it was his name, in California, who was an ex-cop who went on a cop-killing tirade. You remember that a couple years back?
Uh-uh.
All right, so hold on one second. And I remember it at the time where this cop was killing cops, and he was he was hunting them, right? He knew where they lived. He was killing them and their families, right? And I didn't know the whole backstory to it, but apparently it was an African-American cop who had a woman partner who was white, okay? They're going in serving a search warrant or serving a warrant. And in the process of serving this warrant, this lady apparently uses excessive force on the suspect, like excessive. I don't know how much excessive. I haven't looked into it enough, right? But he then reports her and files paperwork and does it official, you know, on her.
Right.
He gets fired. He gets fired for doing that.
Huh.
He then appeals it. And he goes through the appeal courts for years. I forget exactly how long, but I know it was years, and fights it and fights it and fights it. And finally, he's at his last thing and still doesn't get passed. He's still not a cop anymore. He's, you know, all this. And he's run out of appeals. And that's when he wrote out a manifesto saying, you know what? Fuck y'all. And he started hunting police. And then when they finally did find him, 400 cops showed up around his house and Swiss cheesed his ass.
No way.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because when they did find him, everyone wanted a piece of that shit.
Mm-hmm.
And there was no way he was coming out of that alive. Yeah. So, well, the reference here with Chappelle was talking about how 400 cops come out to protect because one of their own, they were being hunted.
Mm-hmm.
Now, how do you expect black people not to come out in mass and hunt cops when you're hunting us? Kind of thing, right? Really great analogy between the two, right? If you're going to hunt us the way that he hunted you, expect the same fucking response.
Right, but they're doing it to everybody.
Yeah, that's the problem, right? I'm all for going after the cops, but you're looting and killing innocent people in the process, man. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, man. This is fucked up. Everything's fucked up. The moral fabric of society is just fucked up.
Yeah.
I mean, because you think you have power because you have a badge, and a gun, that you're above, but you're not.
Well,
I mean, I would think I would say that about a lot of concealed carry holders too. Like, I mean, 90% of them are not, and that's a big number. Like, you don't see a lot of people that are concealed carry people, or responsible gun owners for that matter, doing dumb shit with their firearms. So I don't know. It's just there's a bad few in everybody, and you can't control the few by trying to control the mass. Because the mass is overall generally good. Good morning,
right.
Stan.
Stan says Michael Dorn was the cop's name. Thank you. I couldn't remember it. Are you talking the majority of cops are good? Come on.
Me?
Did you know? And I wouldn't even say the majority of people are good. The only reason people are good is because of the threat of going to jail, the threat of being executed, the threat of somebody behind the door with a gun if you rob them. That's the only reason why we're good. We pretend to be good. We try to be good because we don't want the consequences. Now, some of us really try to be good because of religious reasons. But guess what? That's also you're trying to be good because of consequences most of the time, right? You don't want to go to hell. Meanwhile, you're not realizing that you're supposed to have a relationship with Jesus, not that you're trying to be good. So there are a lot of Christians, air quotes, out there who are trying to be good, but not having a relationship with Christ. They're going to be surprised on Judgment Day. Like, but I was good. It has nothing to do with being good. It's about having that relationship and then trying to have that change your ways, right? But there's if we didn't have, jails or whatever, if this was just a free-for-all society, yeah, it would be bad. It would be real bad.
David Dorn. Michael Dorn is an actor.
Hey,
Are they
man.
related? Are they related?
Maybe. Wasn't there another ex-cop that just got murked during one of these riots that was a security guard, but he used to be a cop? He's black. And they shot him on Facebook Live or whatever. Wasn't his last name Dorn as well? I don't know. A lot of Dorns. Maybe it's a conspiracy.
Or it could be that his family is just a family of punishers,
right?
Out there setting rights wrong.
I got to look more into that story. Really, I do. Because at the time, I didn't really pay much attention to it. I was like, oh, okay, cool. Cop killing cops. That's fine by me. And it was in L.A. Like, I'm not going to go there, so what do I give a fuck? It was funny, too, because apparently he had mentioned Dave Chappelle in his manifesto. And so Chappelle was going to L.A. to do a concert, and the cops called him like, hey, this guy's out here doing all this shit. You want us to, protect you? And he's like, nigga, I think you're the one that need protecting. He likes me. He's like, right. What can I do for you?
Yeah. Do you want me to tell him not to kill you?
Right, yeah. I thought that was funny. But I'm going to look into that more because that's interesting to me. That really interests me because, as I said many times, I don't think there is such a good thing as a good cop. There's ex-cops that try to do good and are punished for it. And it sounds like that's what he was, and that he had a very targeted rage that I could maybe be okay with even a little. I mean, I don't know about going after your family, although I kind of get it. For me, I always have the whole fantasy of, you know, finding the police that got away with it and saying hello. How you doing?
Fantasy. Oh fuck.
Yeah, yeah, you're right, Stan. There was like, I don't know how many, but there was a lot of cops. They surrounded his ass and just shot him full of holes. There was no trying to take him alive at all. They didn't even try. I think he was sleeping. I think it was early in the morning, and they just shot the cabin up full of holes. The Swiss cheesed his ass, and then apparently they burned it down. Yeah, so there wouldn't be any evidence, right? I think that was why. No evidence was recovered because they burned it to the ground.
Damn.
Yeah, and what do you expect then? If you're going to do that when somebody's killing you, what do you expect when you're killing other people? You know?
Yeah. The cops chased him down on a manhunt, and they ended up filling him full of holes and burning the place down. Why don't I remember this stuff?
Yeah, it's not that long ago. That was probably, 2014-ish?
Yeah. I mean, but like I said, I don't watch the news. I don't watch, you know.
Yeah, I suppose.
I mean, hell, just till recently, I hadn't been on YouTube for quite a few years, so.
Yeah. Yeah, I get that too. I took a big hiatus. Actually, let me go ahead and bring that up. You said it was David Dorn. Okay, so David Dorn. I'm gonna look it up.
Look it up. Look it up. Provide a link.
I will if I find a good one. I will. Yeah. David Dorn was the one who passed. I was right. He was the ex-cop who passed in the riots. That was a security guard. So his last name was Dorn. Okay. So David Dorn was the ex-cop who was a security guard who died recently in the riots. As far as the other Dorn, Michael Dorn, I don't know. Let me see. Yeah, he's an actor. I'm gonna have to look it up. Give me a minute.
No problem. No problem. We like to verify our stories here at the Morning Muster News Network.
Mm-hmm.
Stan says his computer is screwing up. Yeah, mine just kicked me out a few minutes ago, so I don't think it's the computer. I think it's just the quality internet provider that we have in rural America.
All right.
Find anything interesting?
Not yet. Maybe I had the whole name wrong. Oh, Christopher Dorn? That might be it. Or Dorner. Sorry, Dorner. Christopher Dorner. Might be it. Yep. Shootings and manhunt. So this is a Wikipedia, so I don't know if this is accurate, but Christopher Jordan Dorner, born 1979, died 2013, was a Los Angeles police officer who, beginning on February 3rd, 2013, committed a series of shootings in Orange County, LA County, and Riverside County, California. The victims were police and civilians. They're counting their families as civilians, I guess, including police family members. Dorner killed 4 people and wounded 3 others. On February 12, 2013, Dorner died during a standoff with San Bernardino County Sheriff deputies after a shootout at the cabin. A manifesto posted by Dorner on Facebook declared unconventional and asthmatic warfare upon LA Police Department, their families, and their associates, unless the LAPD admitted publicly he was fired in retaliation for reporting excessive force. Holy shit. In 2 separate incidences during the manhunt, police shot at 3 civilians unrelated to Dorner, mistaking their pickup trucks for the vehicle being driven by Dorner. I remember that. They killed motherfuckers thinking it was Dorner because of the pickup truck. They were out there shooting individuals just because they were that freaking scared of this dude. This dude was massive, too, if I remember correctly. One of the civilians was hit by the police gunfire. Another one was wounded by shattering glass. And a third individual was injured when police rammed his vehicle and opened fire on him. The officers involved were not charged with any crime. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. You rammed a civilian's car and started shooting at him because the vehicle matched the description of a cop killing cop. And you don't have any charges filed against you? How does that work? Wow. So I will post a link, but really all this is Wikipedia. Hold on. I gotta log in. I haven't done my morning login to my account. Okay. Sorry about all of that. Okay, so there's the link. I'll continue to read. Yeah. Maybe I can even screen share here a little bit. You can share it if you want. If not, that's fine. So, alleged allegations against training officer. On July 28, 2007, Dorner and Evans responded to a DoubleTree Hotel, San Pedro, California, regarding disturbance being caused by Christopher Gettler, who suffered from schizophrenia with severe dementia. 2 weeks later, Evans gave Dorner a performance review, which stated he needed to improve in 3 areas. The following day, Dorner filed a report alleging that Evans had used excessive force in her treatment of Gettler, accusing her of twice kicking Gettler in the chest and one in the face while he was handcuffed and lying on the ground. So she kicked him twice and once in the face, handcuffed, lying on the ground. He reported her. Good cop. Good cop. The LAPD investigated the complaint, examining the allegations against Evans and the truthfulness of Dorner's report. Though an internal review board of 3 members, 2 LAPD captains, and a criminal defense attorney, during the 7-month investigation of Dorner's complaint, Evans was assigned to the desk duty and was not allowed to earn money outside of her LAPD job. Wow. So that's one thing that people don't really talk about that much. Police officers moonlight quite a bit, and they get better paying moonlight jobs because, well, I'm also an officer, right? Which is bullshit because they're not supposed to be they're not supposed to be on the job, but they get better pay because they're technically police officers. Bullshit. Dorner's attorney at the board hearing was former LAPD Captain Randall Kwan. The review board heard testimony from a number of witnesses. The hotel employees who witnessed most of the incident claimed that they did not see Evans kick Gettler. Gettler was brought to the police station and given medical treatment for injuries to his face, but did not mention being kicked at the time. According to Gettler's father, later that day, Gettler told his father that he had been kicked by an officer, and his father testified that a Dorner's disciplinary hearing. In a videotape interview with Dorner's attorney showing that at the hearing, Gettler stated that he was kicked in the face by a female police officer on the day in the place in question. However, when Gettler testified at the hearing, his responses to questioning were described as generally incoherent, non-responsive. The investigation concluded that there was no kicking and later decided that Dorner had lied.
Well, they probably threatened him.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
well, he's schizophrenic and he's also got dementia. So, I mean, that's pretty hard to figure out. So, termination and failed appeal. He appealed this for quite a while. The appeals court concluded the LAPD officer had substantial evidence for its finding that Dorner was not credible in his allegations. So after all these appeals, he's not credible. Manifesto for killings in early February 2013. Coincident with the start of a series of revenge shootings, Dorner was purported to have posted a detailed note on his Facebook page discussing his history, motivations, and plans. This 11,000-word post became known as his manifesto. Dorner listed 40 law enforcement personnel whom he was prepared to kill and stated, "I know most of you personally know me are in disbelief to hear from the media reports that I am suspected of committing such horrendous murders and have taken drastic and shocking actions in the last couple of days." The post began, "Unfortunately, this is necessary evil that I do not enjoy but must partake in complete for substantial change to occur within the LAPD and reclaim my name. The department has not changed since Rampart and Rodney King days. It has gotten worse." Dorner issued a single demand, a public admission by the LAPD officers that his termination was in retaliation for reporting excessive force. He also asked journalists to pursue the truth, pointing out specific lines of investigation for reporters to follow under the Freedom of Information Act, and said that video evidence was sent to multiple news agencies. I wonder if that's the evidence that of his thing that he was complaining about, or video evidence of him killing people. I don't know. On February 9th, 2013, in response to Dorner's manifesto and the start of the killing spree, LAPD Chief Charlie Beck informed Dorner through the media that there would be a review of the disciplinary case that led to his dismissal. Beck said officials would re-examine the allegations by Dorner that his law enforcement career was undone by racist colleagues. So there you go. That's the basics, right? There's this picture. But yeah, I can't say that I totally disagree with the actions.
Gotta do what you gotta do.
Telling you.
He was a police officer, so
Yeah.
Whenever you try to step out on your own people, that's what they shoot you up and burn you.
Yeah. They did not play nice fixing him. Find anything good over there, Irish?
No. I need to find the quarters, what errors there are in the quarters, but I found
so many errors to remember.
Yeah, I know. I have to go look them up, but some of them I just set off to the side and look through them again. Do the original once through, and then there's apparently some on the 2015 one. There's a missing finger on the British surrender of 1777. So there's quite a few little things that are just cool little things to have.
Mm-hmm.
Find them. Of course, it's always nice to find silver, but
yeah, I've never done that. I've tried, but I've never done that.
And you can tell the new pennies because they have the shield on the back of them. You just toss them.
Yeah.
The Zinkins, the zinc Lincolns are useless. So
I don't really like the new design either. I think it's lame. I don't really understand why they did it, but it's been a few years. And now I guess nickels have a new design like every year or something like that. But dimes are still the same. And quarters have been changing since 1999, I guess. Which I don't get it. Why are you changing some but not all of them? Personally, I'd rather them go back to the old Eagles with the quarters. I thought it was going to happen after the 10 years, but now we got to have. I guess it's because of all the coin collecting, right? That they want to now have it keep on going forever, I guess.
Yeah, see, now you're getting interested in it too.
Yeah.
right?
Well, I had been, I have a little coin jar that I've had here too. And then this little baggie here, this is my actual copper pennies, right? So I separate out my actual copper pennies with my non-copper pennies. That's pretty much the most I do. I do look at the dates, but I've never found anything good. I do have that old nickel. Let's see. I wonder if this is it. Obviously, I have the Buffalo nickels that I bought, but I had found a really old nickel. And I was very sad that it wasn't old enough.
Yeah, some of the stuff you think is like, have you seen the ones where they're putting them up and they're saying, "Oh, this is an error," but in reality, it's just where the coin machine from like a Brinks or something has rotated it and caused a circular problem.
Yeah. Well, I saw somebody trying to sell a 1954 Roosevelt dime for like $400, saying it was rare. I mean, there's no such thing as a rare Roosevelt, first of all. Second of all, out of all the Roosevelts, because the guy showed how many were minted that year versus like 2 years later, there's no way. So I don't know why this guy's trying to get $400 on Macari or whatever, but he ain't going to get it.
Oh, well, somebody might buy it. People don't know anything.
Yeah, I suppose, maybe.
This is bad business practices.
Here you go. So this is the closest I've ever come to having a war nickel. You can't really see the date, obviously, but it's you can. Look at that. 1946. 1946 nickel. That's my oldest nickel that I've found on my own.
I just pulled out a 1951.
There you go.
Most of the rest of them are just, the newer ones.
Yeah, lame. I don't really care for the new nickels. They don't even look like they've been stamped that well. Especially the new nickels. They look like they are spending less money on their stamps or something.
Oh, I mean, probably just the material that they're using.
The metals?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because, the harder the metal, the harder it is on the die.
Right.
Helen Keller, 1819 Alabama, 2003. Some of these, I've never even seen because I usually don't really pay that much attention to the quarters until I found the In God We Rust, and then I was like, oh well, man, I will look a little closer now. And, and it's not really like a, find a Sacagawea Cheerios dollar that's worth $16,000, but it's still worth taking a second look at them for a $25 piece that you can put in your collection if you collect.
Was that a rare thing that they did then, I guess, or what?
I mean, I assume.
I would have thought it would have been like, hey, buy this box of cereal and get this dollar in it, that they minted out. It's not like they minted out a precious metal, so it would be like giving them an extra dollar.
The 2000p Cheerios dollar, in 1999, the United States Mint produced Sacagawea dollars. To market the coins and encourage the public to use them, they partnered with several commercial businesses to promote the use of new coins. One of the companies was General Mills, out of Minneapolis, Minnesota, manufacturer of breakfast cereals and other foods. The United States Mint produced 5,500 Sacagawea dollars in August of September 1999. Although 5,500. Although the dollars were minted in 1999, they were dated 2000p on the obverse. However, the mint used a prototype reverse to produce these dollars. Prototype reverse varied slightly from the production coin die used to make the rest of dollars in 2000. General Mills then packaged these dollars in specially marked boxes of Cheerios. They advertised a treasure hunt that one in every 2,000 boxes of Cheerios would contain a new Sacagawea dollar. It wasn't until 2005 that a coin collector, Pat Braddock, noticed the difference between a regular issued Sacagawea dollar and the ones that were placed in boxes of Cheerios. Look at the sharp, crisp detail. You can't see it. But the tail feathers have let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, right above the claw in the back. There's the first tail feather has is the start of it, but it has like a almost like a Cheerio shape in it, like a half round. It's a more detailed tail feather. So, and I'm pretty sure they're valued at $16,000 because the men only produce 5,500 of them, and I think they said 1 in every 2,000 boxes. So, I mean, that's probably why they're so expensive, is because the minimum mint and the reverse. But if you find one while you're coin hunting, you send it off and get it certified, and it's worth buku bunny.
Huh.
But the likelihood of finding one is, you know.
Well, actually, it's not even that. It's that you get. I'm looking at something here. Hold on, let me screen share.
That was just one article.
I know. I'm just kind of curious. Hold on, don't remember this section. Okay, allow. All right. Yeah, it doesn't look like Cheerios to me. It just looks like it's more defined. So depicted below is an example of close-up image comparing the differences between the Sacagawea normal dollar versus the Cheerio dollar. I don't see rings, but it's definitely a better stamping.
The picture I have of it is a lot closer. Maybe I can't tell because
then here's the Cheerio dollar here from further out. That is weird though. Yeah, I'd like to. I mean, this is just a one picture, obviously.
What does it say it's valued at? Did it say?
I don't know. Let's see. Melt value is nothing. Uncirculated, it's worth $2,678. MS65. Still, that's a lot more than $1.
Well, one just recently sold for like 16,000. That's why.
Holy shit.
15,600 maybe is what it was.
Wait, the MS67 or MS68 grade are worth 10,000 up to over 30,000 each. It's estimated that only 5,500 of these coins exist, but no one knows for sure. Wow. Yeah, I mean, looking at these pictures though, I need to look at more of them apparently, because I would never be able to spot that difference. So this one has 2 tail feathers right here by the feet. You can kind of see 1 and 2, and this one looks like 1 big feather right by the feet. That's like the best difference I've found so far between those 2 photos. Yeah, here's another side by side. Learn how to identify the rare Cheerios dollar coin. Huh. So yeah, for me, it looks like the tail feathers, the one in the middle by the feet, are the best way to determine if it's a Cheerio or if it's not.
Yeah, the picture I have is like through a 20 times eye loop. So that's why, like, the really close to the edge of the tail feathers, it looks like a Cheerio. So on mine, but like I said, it's a 30 times zoomed in picture. But yeah, there's definitely a lot of different, serrations, I guess you could say.
Right.
Lack of better terminology.
Yeah, it just says that the normal tail feathers are not as detailed as the other one. The Cheerio ones are more detailed than.
And apparently there's some planchets that didn't get punched. There's a wounded eagle that has 2 weird striations in the 2000p. So I wonder what it would be if it was a wounded eagle with Cheerios on it. These things stack up, right? Like, stack it.
Hell yeah, man. An error of an error? That's got to be worth some money, right?
I really want one because it's not really of any value other than intrinsically, but it's a sack, like a sack dollar, but it's blank, but it has the edge, the wording on the edges. But they didn't stamp
I do
it.
like that. Yeah.
I mean, it's just a collector's item, Just
Yeah. That'd be cool. I mean, if I find something like that, I love it. But paying for something like that, maybe not.
yeah, no, I'm not gonna pay that. But yeah, if you find something, that's why I always just look through it just to make sure.
Yeah, unfortunately, I already made the mistake of buying for numismatic value. I did those 3 eagles, the silver eagles that were slabbed. That's my mistake. That's my silver mistake, is buying slabbed eagles. Bought them for $45 a piece, thinking that, well, AtMex and all the places online are selling these for $65 to $80 a piece. I bought them for $45. Even if I, make $10 on them, that's still less than what they're selling them for. So I should be able to make my money. I had 3 of them. I only have 2. So I did get rid of 1. But I got rid of it for the same price I paid for it. If you guys are interested in these, I am selling them for $45 a piece plus shipping and handling. So this is a 1995 and a 1997 MS69 Silver Eagle. What's up, Tone?
Tactical Tone's in the house.
He got his already?
Oh.
He's going to run his own chat called The Morning Wood. Holy crap, man. Everybody's copying you there, Irish.
Hey. That's flattery right there. Flattery. Thank you. You going to run it before mine, after mine, or during, Tony? Because, I mean,
If you're going to call it The Morning Wood, you need to do it out in the woods. You know what I mean?
Maybe you should contact the Jones of Alex and see if he'll put you on, because then you really blow up. Tactical Tone. Tactical Tone in the streets.
And get some of that free colloidal silver, bro.
Yeah. All kinds of free shit, if you're... I thought I don't even have internet. I'm just... So we're going to call it the morning salad toss then, if you're talking out your butt there, bro? All right, I'm going to have to step away for a minute, so give me a few minutes. I'll be right back.
All right.
Spotlight's on you. Be right back.
Yeah, thanks. Love it. So awesome. Absolutely love it. This Atlanta thing is ridiculous. I haven't looked into it much. I need to. Apparently there was a police shooting or something like that, or excessive force, like another excessive force. Somebody died, right? And now there's a whole bunch of riots in Atlanta over it, I believe. Educate me a little bit on that. I might have to, that might be something I go look up here in a second. Let me just get these quarters put down. All right, so, oops. I know, like a police chief resigned or some shit. Atlanta police officer fired after fatally shooting a black man. Yeah, that'll probably do it. Atlanta police officer fired after fatally shooting a black man by Rashard Brooks. An Atlanta police officer was fired early Sunday following the fatal shooting of a black man, which triggered unrest and new waves of protests in the city. Rashard Brooks, 27, was fatally shot by police at a Wendy's drive-thru after officials says he resisted arrest and stole an officer's taser. Oh, do you have? I would like to see some sort of dash cam. An autopsy found that Brooks suffered 2 gunshot wounds to his back and died of organ injuries and blood loss, the Fulton County Medical Examiner said on Sunday. The manner of death was listed as a homicide. The fired officers, Jarrett Rolfe, was hired by the department October 2013. A department spokesperson said Devin Rosnan Another officer at the scene was placed on administrative duty. So there's at least 2 cops. One's fired, the other one's on trial, I guess. Roll's firing follows the resignation of the police chief, Eric Shields, who left the department just a day after the deadly shooting. Former assistant chief Rodney Bryant, who is black, will serve as the city's interim police chief. In a statement, Shields says, I have faith in the mayor. At this time, it's for the city to move forward and build trust between law enforcement and the communities they serve. Police said Brooks fell asleep in the Wendy's drive-thru on Friday night. He had failed a sobriety test. When police tried to take him into custody, Brooks resisted and stole a taser from the officer, they said. Brooks ran from the officers, at one point aimed the taser at police before the officer fired his weapon. Wait, take this back. When police tried to take him into custody, Brooks resisted and stole a taser from an officer, they said. Brooks then ran from the officer and at one point aimed the taser at police. So was he running away and did one of these? Or did he aim it first and then run away? Because if he's running away, you just shot him in the back. For what? Because he was sleeping in his car because he was drunk? This is the other thing that pissed me off about, the whole George Floyd situation. There, people on the right, especially people on the right, Candace Owens, fucking Fox News, all of them, trying to bring up the man's past. And, well, he wasn't a nice guy. He sold drugs. He did this. He did that. He was a porn star, yada, yada. Who gives a fuck? Who gives a fuck what he did in his past? We all have a past. You don't want to don't bring up his past, or somebody going to bring up your past. Everybody's got a past. This isn't a trial about if he was a nice person or not. This is a trial on if excessive force, and the man was murdered for no good reason. Was he threatening to kill the police officer at the moment of his death? No, he was not. He was begging the police officer to get off of his neck for 8 minutes. Okay? I don't give a fuck what he did. He wasn't doing anything at the time. You don't kill a man like that and get away with it. Right? And you don't kill a man when he's running away from you with your taser. Maybe he has your taser, maybe he don't. But you shot him in the back. Well, there may be debate as to whether this was appropriate use of deadly force. There is no debate. It wasn't. He's running away. I firmly believe that there was a clear distinction between what you can do and what you should do, Mayor said in a news conference. I do not believe this was a justified use of deadly force. Good, because it wasn't. Brooks was taken to local hospital where he died after surgery. Officials said one officer was treated for an injury and discharged from the hospital. Oh, did you get a little boo-boo? So I don't know a lot about this. This happened over the weekend. I was kind of not paying attention during the weekend that much, but that pisses me off. That absolutely pisses me off. I think all police officers should only have tasers or non-lethal. Whatever the police officers have in England, that's what they should have. You should have to use your words. And at worst case scenario, you get a taser. And that's all you get. And don't come to me like, whoa, they'll be outnumbered and the bad guys got the guns. Yeah, well, you take 5 cops to pull over one grandma in an Escalade because she went 5 miles over the speed limit. And you're worried that you're going to get deadly force used against you? Fuck you. They obviously can't be trusted with firearms. All right. The cop that killed the white guys was way more egregious. I can't read those words, Tony. It's too early in the morning. Egregious. There, I think that's the closest I can get to it. Arizona cop that shot the white dude with his AR and then got off. Oh, the guy in Mesa in the hotel where the guy was crawling to the police officer, trying to do everything the police officer said, but he was so confusing. Like I was trying to follow everything the cop was saying to do. And he was all over the place telling this kid what to do. And he made a mistake and didn't go do exactly what, because the cop said, put your hands behind your back. And then he said, put them out in front of you. But meanwhile, the guy was trying to put him behind his back. The guy then says, well, I shot him because he was reaching for a gun. You had just told the motherfucker to put his hands behind his back. and then put him in front. The dude's confused. He's obviously a little intoxicated. He wasn't planning on getting murdered that evening by a police officer, or he might not have been drinking. Ira says you can't shoot anyone while they're retreating in the back. Well, if you're a cop, and if you're a property owner, right? Like here in Arizona, I don't know how it is everywhere else. If you're on my property and I tell you to get off of my property or I'm going to kill you, or I'm going to shoot you, and you don't get off my property, and then I present my firearm and you're like, I don't know. Yeah, probably not. I think I'd still probably get in trouble for that. Legally, technically, I think I'm allowed to as long as I give you proper warning. But at the same time, I wouldn't do it because it would be pretty hard to get off of that one. Not to mention, if it's in their back, they're retreating from the situation. Threat is over. There was no threat even there. The guy was drunk. He took your taser. So big what? That's a reason to shoot him? Rolfe's firing follows the resignation of the city's police chief, Erica Shields, who left the department just a day after the deadly shooting. Former assistant Rodney Bryant, who is black, will serve as the intern. We already read that. Is there a video of this? I mean, at the beginning of this article, there was a video, but it looks like a news thing. And when I click it, nothing plays. I would imagine there probably has to be video of this, right? Fox News has something. Atlanta police shooting, autopsy, Rayshard Brooks suffered 2 gunshot wounds to the back, dual ruled homicide, yeah. I'm sure you probably can't hear this, but oh, yeah, there is video. Yep. Oh, okay. So he did do one of these. He did do one of those with the taser. Look at him trying to run. Well, you can't see him, but he's trying to run. He's intoxicated, looks like, right? And then he turns around with the taser and shoots, which is a one-time use thing and is not lethal, right? And so that makes you think it's okay to shoot this fool? Are you kidding me? Hot and humid in the jungle, huh, Tony? Well, yeah, you live in the Ozarks, bro. It's going to be humid there. And I believe you live right on the lake, don't you? That's going to make it humid all the time. Even when it's not hot, it's going to be humid. Welcome back.
Hot. It's always hot out there.
Yeah. Oh, my goodness. I'm telling you, man, this shit's going to light up. It is an election year.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Craziness.
As a white police officer, though, man, I would not even, like, if I pulled over if I had to deal with any person of color, and at this moment, for all the police officers still on the job, if you are white, actually, you should think about this no matter what color you are, but especially if you're white. If you have any kind of dealing with any minority, don't draw your gun. I don't care what they do at all. Let them steal your taser. Let them steal your gun and shoot you. At this point, it'd be better to be shot without touching your gun than to draw your gun for any reason at all. Tony says, is anyone scared? I don't think I'm scared. I'm definitely not prepared, but I'm very upset and irate that cops are getting away with this. And I really wish that we could get away from this whole white versus black bullshit and we could say citizens versus, or people, the people of the United States versus the so-called law enforcement. If you're white, you should just retire. Well, a lot of cops are retiring. They're citing that they're not getting any backing and respect. But what it is they're worried because there's a lot of people out there that are looking to kill white cops right now. There's been a lot of white cop deaths over this whole thing. And now they're not feeling like they're in control of everything. And when they're not in control of everything, that's when they get scared. And they don't like being scared. That's why they became cops. I don't want to get scared. I want to feel like I'm important. I have a gun. I have a badge. I have the law behind me. You're going to respect my authority or I'm going to shoot your ass. And now they can't do that. And now they're scared. And they're not getting the respect that they deserve. And now when they actually go out on the job, they really are putting their life on the line and not just, saying it for prosperity.
I know you're gonna like that text message. That's why I sent it to you right now, bruh.
All right. Well, then you got to talk because I can't talk and read. It's kind of like reading out loud, and I'm not going to do that.
If you're white, you should just retire. Ain't worth the headache. We can't get actual reform. It's been hijacked. Yeah, I mean, we were talking about that earlier, like how you can't have all these politicians and shit that are lifetime career politicians because nothing's ever going to change because no matter what they do, they know they have, their job. So definitely need to get rid of their fucking jobs and make them go back to work after they supposedly go help the people because then, not all, but I'd say a good majority of them would actually be, better people. And a lot more shit would change because if you send new people up there every 4 or 8 years and have term limits, you wouldn't have all this bullshit going on. And them getting rich as we get poorer. What's the shit that V for Vendetta took place in 2020? I don't know. Explain.
I mean, V for Vendetta was all about the fight of the Guy Fawkes thing, right?
Yeah.
That was an older movie. I don't know. I haven't heard anything new for 2020. Hi, kitty. Yeah. I'd be okay with either one of those, Tony. Oh, shit, cat. I mean, what are they really there for anyway? Are they serving and protecting, or are they collecting and and serving out the beatings? For the most part, 90% of the time, at least in my opinion, definitely in my opinion, they're just there revenue collectors for the state. The other times they're investigating crimes that already happened, so they're not preventing any crimes. The only thing that they're preventing is maybe somebody who doesn't want to do something because if I get caught, I'm going to go to jail. If you get caught. Or you might not want to do it because there might be a gun on the other side of that door. The homeowner might be a gun owner, right? That's why why criminals pick gun-free zones. But yeah, Judge Dredd, the law. I can't really do that very well, but yeah, I'm not a fan, man. I'm not a fan. When the shit hits the road, like, there's an open season on cops. Funny how all the cops are like, yeah, I think I don't want to be a cop anymore. But when there's not, and when you have all the authority, that's when you want to be but then you still virtue signal like, yeah, I go out there, I put my life on the line every day that I put on this uniform and jump in my squad car. Do you? Do you really? When you're pulling over little old ladies who turn signals out, 5 of you are there pulling her over, is that putting a life on the line? Yeah, every once in a while, a cop gets shot. Big fucking deal. A lot more often, cops are shooting people. Well, maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe cops get shot more than they shoot other people. But I'll tell you what, cops get away with it a lot more than other people shooting cops. You shoot a cop, there is no, well, he pointed a gun at me. That don't fly. That don't fly.
Yeah.
If that guy in Atlanta had an actual gun, okay, cop's gun, his gun, doesn't matter. If he had a gun and he had done nothing wrong, and the cops were shooting at him, and he shot back and killed that cop and survived, which wouldn't happen, but let's say he survived, he wouldn't be able to say I was in self-defense. Shit, we had cops who broke down and shot a lady in her bed, right, killed her. The boyfriend shot the police officer back because it was a no-knock warrant, and they even had the wrong house, right? So the guy wasn't wanted at all, but he shot back, injured the cop, and he was in jail. I think he might still be in jail. I'm not sure. I think that might have been resolved now. But they were charging him for attempted murder of a police officer when they no-knocked his house, and it was the wrong house in the first place. They put him up on attempted murder of a police officer. There's something fucking wrong about that. Tony says, massive closing of casinos coming. Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah, they can't keep up. They can't hire people because they can't even be at, 50% capacity? I don't know what it is in Vegas, but...
Yeah, they're destroying this country because it's an election year and we got to get Trump out of office. People are falling for it, man. They're falling for a big lie. It's all a fucking lie. Is there a virus out there that is the virus? Yeah, probably. Does it kill as many people as they say? Hell fucking no. And you know what really pisses me off? I was talking about this with a wife the other day. Is that everybody's going to think that their little T-shirt mask and their little hand sanitizers did the trick, right? Because we're going to get out of this and everybody's like, yeah, we did really great. America strong. We had our little T-shirt mask and we had social distancing and it's, we survived it. So we're strong for it. If an actual pandemic came, we'd be screwed. Because people out there thinking that their PPE don't stink. Meanwhile, half of them aren't wearing masks. The other ones are wearing it only over their mouth. The other ones have kids reaching up under there, picking boogers or wiping it on shit. We're all dead if there's an actual pandemic, for real. I see War Z, no virus, just pure savagery. People killing and looting. Yeah. That's the problem, right? Everybody's so divided they can't focus. Focus on your enemy. Don't focus on your fellow human that's not your enemy. Because now you're playing into their world, black versus white. Well, only Black Lives Matter. Really? Me giving a crap about George Floyd doesn't count because I'm white? Because I don't see it as a racial thing. I see it as a human thing. That means I'm a bad guy because I don't think Black Lives Matter more than my own. That's the problem, man. That's your news media. That's your government agencies, right? They divide you, and they succeeded. Hook, line, and sinker. You bought it. Everybody bought it, and it's a lot easier to fool someone than to convince them that they have been fooled, and they have been fooled really well.
Mm-hmm. Of course. It's crazy what people will believe. I see World Z no rut. Well, they're saying that, like I posted up articles earlier about how they're saying that people have it. People that have the antibodies are like supreme, and then there's some people that have antibodies completely to the whole thing. So. Sorry, that was just my rambling there.
Yeah.
Debt budget riots. It's a triple threat. Sorry, I'm just going over here. Shocking poll: Biden is plus 14.
Yep. He's way ahead of Trump right now because
Yeah,
they haven't
sure.
had a debate yet.
Well, yeah, because he's a blubbering idiot.
Mm-hmm. He'd do good not to have a debate with Trump. If I was him, I wouldn't want one at all.
Instagram is now banning users from posting federal crime statistics. Anything, yeah.
You can't show that most of the crimes in America are committed by one of the smallest minorities. What? Or not the smallest minorities, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
That would be facts, and facts hurt feelings, and so therefore it must be banned. Yeah, we're devolving, all right. Tribe versus tribe, and it's all planned. They had to, because if we all stood up as one, that would jeopardize their power hold. You can't have that. This way, it doesn't matter who gets president, right? Republican, Democrat, doesn't matter. Doesn't really matter if it's Biden or if it's Trump. It really doesn't. It's the same shit show either way. I try to convince that in people when I did my chat on why I don't support Trump anymore. But it doesn't matter, because those people, even though I woke them up, even though I show them evidence of what Trump has done, they're like, well, I can't vote for Biden because Biden would be so much worse. Would he? Would he really? Not really. I mean, look how many gun control things we got passed when Obama was president. Hardly any, right? We passed more gun control stuff and done more against the Second Amendment during Trump's 4 years than we did with Obama's 8. Okay? So don't tell me that we're better off with Trump than we would have been with Hillary or would have been with Biden. We're not. Because Republicans would have actually maybe been a little bit more conservative, because they were a lot more conservative when Obama was president and actually fought for the Second Amendment. Where's the NRA? Where are they? They're nowhere, right? We have all these things going on in Virginia and going on all over the country with them coming after the Second Amendment hardcore. Where's the NRA? Nowhere. Where were they with bump stocks? Nowhere. They were encouraging it, actually, I believe. Right? They're silent. And the whole thing with Virginia, they finally came out like a week after it had happened and nobody got hurt. And they're, oh, yeah, we were there in Virginia. No, you weren't. Stop talking. Seriously, that's our biggest problem, our side. Our side, the conservative side that believes in the Constitution. Y'all a bunch of talkers. Y'all talk. When the rubber hits the road, you're nowhere to be found because excuses. I've got to do this. I've got to do that. I can't possibly go here because I have a job. I'm not like these millennials who live in their parents' basement. Yeah, well, at least they're out taking over shit, right? What are you doing? Sitting at home, making excuses why it's okay to just talk. Hell's Angels, yeah, we're going to take over Seattle. We'll be there on the 4th of July. Fucking 2.5 weeks away. It takes you that goddamn long to get there. Or are you just hoping that the situation is settled before you have to actually nut up or shut up? And believe me, if it's still going on July 4th, there'll be a reason why. Oh, well, we had a breakdown and, Paul over here, he's got crabs, so he had an itch.
Crabs! My man, you got an STD on the way there.
Fucking excuses, bro. I'm so sick of it. So sick of it. I'm done. If anybody out there says, oh, you should rise up, but then doesn't themselves, I'm done with that person.
I think you should do whatever you feel like you need to do.
Yeah. I think Doran was on to something. Tony says people still don't believe what stage we are in. I guess, maybe not. I don't know, man. People are all talk. That's all they are. They all talk. And you should know this. How many times back in the day You doing call to arms. See how many people actually stood up and did shit? Or how many are like, well, now is not the time for that. You had a lot of people like that at the Bundy Ranch too. A lot of people didn't even go because they're like, yeah, I don't want to have to worry about that. And then there are a whole bunch of people were like, yeah, I was gonna go. I should have went. I was gonna go, but I couldn't make it. No, you weren't gonna go. You didn't want to go because now that you didn't go and it all turned out okay. Now you're like, yeah, rah support. You're watching Paw Patrol now before they get rid of the cop dog.
Better start recording it. Recording it.
They're erasing history, bro. Elmer Fudd can't have a shotgun.
But he can have the Russian or the communist scythe, though, right?
Nope.
Well, not the. Yeah, we'll give you the sickle, but you can't have the rootin' tootin' Wild West guns. How America was won, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh man, it's always something. Well, we're approaching the 2-hour mark here, so we'll let Tony get some more hate and discontent in here.
All right.
People still don't want to believe. Yeah, I mean, most people are still in the dark. A lot of people are still in the mindset that we're still in the cerveza bug death fucking range. Hello, angels.
Yeah, like Hello Kitty angels, maybe. Bunch of pussycat. I swear, I'm done, man. Like, people need to nut up or shut up. I'm done with it. What's sad is I don't think there's very many people that are like that, and those that are, they get taken out pretty quick.
Yeah, they'll drone you, bro.
And now they have you seen the whole thing with the Confederate flag stuff? So NASCAR's getting rid of anything Confederate flag. You're no longer allowed to have any kind of Confederate flag as a Marine or anybody in the service, right? Even if that is your heritage and that's where you're from. They're trying to rename military bases. Trump said no, but boy, they're giving him a lot of shit for not being okay with that. I even watched.
They're trying to go behind his back, aren't they?
Yeah, well, that I was watching Young Turks. I haven't watched them ever before, but they were like, "How dare you celebrate somebody who believed that slavery was a moral thing?" Yada yada yada. I'm like, oh my god, people. Tony got mocked back in the day, maybe, or is that what you're saying? Back in the day, when you were calling for arms. I thought you were a little hot-headed at the time, but man, I think you were a little bit ahead of me. I think I'm catching up to where you were back then. I'm catching up now. You can really see how many fake people are out there, though. They're all taught. They don't do shit. I'm not about to do that anymore, man. I'm gonna get in shape. I want to be a door kicker one way or the other, bro. I'm gonna kick some doors.
Pink ponies, bitch.
There you go. Whatever happened to him, man? He dropped off the face of the planet.
I think he's an instructor now, so he can't be as vocal.
At all. I mean, he hasn't done a video in like 2 years. Sad.
I think he got a paying gig, and so he quit putting out free content, Probably because his employers did not want him to put out stuff,
Could be.
I don't know 100% certain that that's the case, but.
All right. Well, I hope that's it. Instead of him getting taken out or some shit. You never know, man. I'd like to have at least give a video explanation. Like, hey, I'm not going to be doing videos for a while because of yada. Some generic thing. You don't have to talk exactly what you're doing, but just like, hey, I got something coming up. I can't be doing videos for a while.
I highly doubt it with his connections and friends. Right. I think it's more or less that he got big and somebody scooped him up and.
Oh, he got big, all right. And if you guys don't know who we're talking about the Haas USMC. Just in case somebody out there is like, what the fuck are they talking about? I don't know, man.
I don't either, man. It's a fucked up place, fucked up time. All you can do is what was the Antifa slogan? Prep up, save money, get training. I want to start using their shit.
Yeah. Oh man, if you haven't ever seen it, I don't know if it would. You gotta watch this. Hold up. Let me see if I can't do something here real quick. Give me a couple seconds.
What interesting factoid are we gonna get now?
Oh, it's not a factoid, but it's hilarious. It's about 1 minute and 40 seconds, and I have to. I don't know. When I do a screen share, can you guys hear the audio? I doubt you can.
Sometimes.
Well, if I do it with the audio playing in the background, you'll be able to. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the speakers working on my TV, and we're going to listen to this on the TV here. All right, now let's see. Turn that around, right? I don't know if that's viewable. So I can find out.
Calhoun.
Yep. Let me turn down my volume also. Hold on. All right. I think that should be lower. All right. Hold up. Okay. Actually, you know what? I'm going to share the screen, and then I'll just play the audio. Okay. Actually, you know what? Share screen. All right. Share that when you get a chance. Irish.
Okay. Click on that. There you go, sir.
There you go. All right. And then here we go. This should play.
You guys want to see something funny? Well, do you? Is this really happening? What's up, comrades? What's up, comrades? I'm your virgin hunter.
Hold on. Let me get the volume better.
You guys want to see something funny? Well, do you? Is this really happening? What's up, comrades? What's up, comrades? I'm your virgin hunter.
And all the trolls like to say fuck off.
Yeah, you stupid trolls! You don't know nothing about this life! You don't know shit about this life! Mom's gonna be so pissed she shot a hole in the wall!
It's time to take a stand. We can't just talk about it anymore. Talking is for the 3%ers.
Ain't that the truth?
All they do is talk.
3%ers actually have jobs. And we know how to raise our kids right. And they know how to load a gun properly. And we will beat your skinny little ass. Fist bump.
We need to raise money to be able to build targets and to build hills.
And to buy new dildos. And more Ed Hardy merchandise from Hot Topic.
It's not as easy as you think to put the clip in.
I mean, really? Is it really that hard? Hold up. Safety first, kids. Get up, church.
Join that national group, and we will put you guys where you need to go.
So hop in your mom's minivan and grab your skateboards. And don't forget your Capri Suns and your foam swords either. You little anorexic lesbian-looking soldiers. Comrades.
So until next time, resist. We must always resist.
You guys suck. You are like ISIS. Just the fuckboy version.
All right. So that's all I had for you.
I love Adam. Oh, shit. They always crack me up. That's the video I was referring to, where load up your mag or your clips and get your homeboys and save up money and buy targets. And
Right, yeah, that one's funny.
so mommy and daddy give you an allowance, use that money to get your foam swords and stuff.
Oh, Tony's says there's a different reason why Haas is no longer on YouTube. He quit YouTube because he duped a whole bunch of people and stole their money. He got ridiculed for stealing all that money, and then he just didn't do any more YouTube. Wow, that's something I did not know about.
Yeah.
If you have more to share, please do, because I would be interested in that.
Is this why nobody's donating to Rally Point Irish? You motherfuckers think I'm going to dupe you?
All right.
Thanks, Haas. Thanks, Haas.
Yeah. Whole bunch of Marines out there duping people, I guess. Damn. I knew there was there's been stuff like that happen before, but yeah, that's news to me.
Yeah, well, I have a history of helping and giving stuff to people, so just go ask fucking Eric over at eBomi. I've gave him stuff. I fucking donated stuff to almost everybody that we used to hang around with. So, but I'm not calling in any favors either, so I'm not calling and begging for,
No, you shouldn't have to.
because if I was to contact Eric, or eBlow-me as I call him, I'm sure he would be more than happy to put it out there, but that's not what I'm about. And if you don't want to support it, then don't support it. But
Right.
just like Hornet Fixer, man. Nobody really watches him anymore because of his alternative views, and he's been kicked off a few times, but they went to the radio channel and they do a podcast. Hornet Fixer does one every Sunday, I think. So.
Yeah, I don't know. I've talked with Hornet Fixer. I've seen his videos and stuff, but I don't know. Yeah, I can see why he might have some issues.
I mean, he was putting up completely nude bitches. There was no way around that. He was definitely doing stuff to piss off the censors, but
Well, shit, man. You can have fully nude and naked women on YouTube nowadays. I mean, I've seen plenty of music videos, like Wheeler Walker Jr. Have you ever heard of Wheeler Walker Jr.? Oh, my goodness. Okay. Hold up. Hold up. We got another one that we have to do.
Is he a rapper or something, or
No. I'm not gonna say a damn thing, bro. Although I will say that this is got a inappropriate for some users label on it, but it is on YouTube, so they can't give a shit, right? They cannot give a shit for sharing it because if it's already on YouTube, man. Let's see, share screen, okay, and then select window one. Right.
This is where we get
Actually.
off of YouTube.
No, because it's already on YouTube, bro. It's already on YouTube.
Oh, like how to manufacture methamphetamines is on there too, but you can't talk about
No.
scary.
This is very well. YouTube has allowed this a lot. Yeah, so no, it's fine. So there's that. Okay, you've already shared it. Okay, good. And as far as the audio goes, let me put on sounds again.
Yeah, what money did he steal, Tony? You got any? Tell us what the hell he stole.
All right, here we go. Let's see, morning mustard. Okay. All right, we're ready.
Silicone women with flames high. Looks no fucking titty fucking my pussy in boots. Girl knows how to hold the tone. Not so long to a wailing too. Well, she's loving on my cowboy. I want a girl in a cowboy hat. Don't know where my butthole is at. No smoking out the way you do. I like my pussy in boots.
So yeah, there's that.
Wow.
We can end it there if you want, right? But that's Wheeler Walker Jr. Puss in Boots. He's got plenty of other songs as well. But this is all over YouTube. There is a clean version if you don't want to see the titties, but yeah.
Awesome. I was not aware. I don't watch YouTube all that often. Mainly just people I'm subscribed to, but apparently there is some. Yeah. Tony, are you still there? Tell us what the hell you're talking about. What happened? I was gone for a while, so I don't know.
Yeah, I was looking into it. I see one thing on YouTube that says that there was supposed to be a documentary that was made, and that it was not made. That's so far the only, and it's only one video, so it's not like a whole bunch of people saying it. So I don't know.
Tony, are you still there?
He might be gobsmacked after seeing all them titties.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
All right, well, I guess we'll find out next time.
Right.
As always, we're out of here. It's 2 hours. So I'm USMC Vet. That's Poison Singer. Thumbs up, thumbs down, bitches. Most places, leave them in the comment section below. Share the video, like the video, give it a thumbs up, thumbs down, and fuck you. Talk to us in the comment section. Check out the links below if you want to support us in anything we do. And we're out of here. Have a great day.
Peace. You got to watch Wheeler Walker